Hello everyone and welcome to The Curve, where we bring you all the latest Grandmasters news on Curve. This week saw the beginning of a new age in Hearthstone, with our Grandmasters not only having to navigate a new expansion meta, but also the massive shakeup we've had from the addition of the new core set. With only a week to prepare, it was a surprise to no one that the dreaded Lunacy Mage and Secret Paladin were dominant in the lineups of almost all of our players. With a special shout out to America's Grandmaster Fled, who made it to top 8 without either of those in his lineup. This meant eyes were drawn to the 3rd and 4th decks that the players chose, with a huge mix of combinations ranging from aggro styles to try and counter Mage with Hunter and Weapon Rogue, to slower, more control styles with Warlock and Priest to try and outlast their opponents. It wasn't only a new meta our players had to contend with, but also a new format as well. Each week is a self-contained tournament that our players earn points for based on their placement for that week. Then all of the totals get added up at the end of the 7 weeks of Grandmasters, which will then decide who makes playoffs and who gets relegated. In the Asia Pacific region, we saw 2 veteran players make it to the final in the form of Alutimu and current world champion Glory. The practice partners submitted the exact same lineup and 120 card lists, proving they had the meta locked down for week 1. Even though they were evenly matched going into the series, it was Alutimu who managed to get the better of the world champion in a convincing 3-0 victory, landing himself that 5 points for week number 1. Meanwhile, in Europe, we had crowd favourite and veteran of Hearthstone Tice end up in the finals versus Viper, who has a history of taking a different approach to deck building. The biggest surprise being that both players had chosen to try and counter Mage. Tice choosing a more control style with his slower Rogue and Warlock, and Viper taking a much faster approach with his Face Hunter and Weapon Rogue. It was an extremely close series, but Tice managed to end it in his favour with a 3-2 score. In the Americas, it was another final without a Mage ban, as newcomer Dreadeye made a splash taking down Luna in the semis, and then going 2-0 up against No Hands Gamer in the final. But No Hands continued to prove his mastery of the game by reverse sweeping Dreadeye with his Mage, Priest and Rogue to take week 1 victory with a 3-2 score. Although we are only 1 week into Grandmasters, the top 4 players from each region have already started to separate from the pack, banking a minimum of 3 points to take with them to week 2. And the pressure is already starting to build for any of our players not managing to grab a single point this week. That is going to be it for us on The Curve this week. So make sure to go to playhearthstone.com/esports to check out any of the matches you may have missed or any of the deck lists you may have been interested in. But for now, thanks a lot for watching and we'll see you next time in the tavern.